Hey, scrappy people, it's Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with a Life Crafted album page with the Cocoa Daisy Peach Ridge collection. And today I'm going to be leaning into the myriad of hexagons in the Peach Ridge collection, and I'm going to be going all in with them. So you can see I'm starting off big. So these are photos of Patrick and I on my Mother's Day hike. I'm actually going to be scrapbooking this in our main 12 by 12 album as well, but I wanted to scrapbook just these photos with a story about how Patrick doesn't necessarily enjoy hiking as much as I do. He doesn't dislike it, but he doesn't feel the need lately to be out in the wilderness as much as I do, especially since the poor guy works nights. So getting out in the daytime is an extra next level of hell for him sometimes. So he went out on a hike with me for my sake and my sake alone. So I wanted to sort of scrapbook that specific facet of this story in my own Life Crafted album. So I'm going to be tackling these photos, more photos of this hike in my other album too, but this was a specific story, and I like to divide up my albums in that way. The Life Crafted album is sort of my story. It's my thoughts, my feelings, my more private, not private because it's still a scrapbook and obviously I put it all over the internet, but my more me-centric stories, whereas the 12 by 12 album is the family-centered stuff for posterity. So anyway, I have these photos. Poor Patrick, he got so sick on the hike too. We had to turn around because he just did not feel well, poor thing. Anyway, I have these photos on the right hand side here that are of he and I just thought it was funny, the dichotomy between the photo, same place that I took of myself, versus the hurry up and get it over with photo down there on the bottom right there. Poor Patrick and I. So that I thought that those would be funny photos to tell the story. So I'm trying to piece these hexagons, and initially when I had planned out this page, I was going to let the hexagons on the right hand side be the other orientation so that the pointy ends weren't facing up but the flat ends were facing up. But then I decided that I wouldn't be able to handle my hexagons facing two different directions, and so now I've kind of thrown myself into flux here and I'm kind of winging it, and it's not working out the way that I really wanted it to work out. Also, I wanted to use that Today stamp, and I realized that it was flat side up, and then you're gonna see me later realize that I could have just rotated the dang stamp and it would have worked. And it made me so frustrated because I was like, why weren't you paying attention? Why didn't you think of that? And sometimes it's just like that, right? You're just not quite all there when you're scrapbooking. So I've got this going on, and I'm not loving, especially up there at the top, I do not love those two hexagons up there at the top on the right hand side. It's not really making me happy, so I'm trying to cover it up. And no, I'm just going to end up taking that yellow one off and putting something else up there to match it, sort of like with that Fresh Air and Sunshine chipboard where I didn't put a hexagon there. So I'm sort of placing chipboard here and there, testing it out, and then I decide that I want to use this hexagon here, but I just want the stitching, and the centerpiece of that hexagon is a full stamp, and so I'm using the washi to cover up the inside edges of that so that I can just use the stitching around the stamp, and I'm going to pull off that washi tape before I stamp. And this is like a big gamble, you guys. You know I suck at stamping, so having this work out is just like a crapshoot for me. So I push it down and it's perfect. I was so excited. You can't even see the happy dance I was doing. So I'm going to repeat it in a couple more places on this side. Yay, it made me so happy, you guys. Oh, perfect. That is the perfect touch. I'm actually gonna take this today and I'm going to use it on the left hand side or the right hand side as well. I'm just gonna stamp right over that blue thing, and the stamping is imperfect, but I actually kind of like it the way that it is, so I decided not to fix it. I had stuff on the other side of this page that was making it not completely flat, and that was part of the problem, but I actually like it. No big deal. Okay. Yay! So now it says today documented up there at the top, which makes me really happy too. I'm going to use this little bow stamp that came on the stamp sheet too. Perfect. Then I think I'm going to add one more stamp. Yeah, I'm going to add the little heart down here in the bottom of this hexagon, and I was going to use that hexagon to actually add a little caption, but I end up putting so much on the journaling card that I'm going to insert into the rings that I don't need to use it for a caption, so I end up using it for a title instead. So that actually worked out pretty well because it kind of gave this mess of words that are everywhere a place to, like a place for your eye to rest. I wanted to add in some arrows just so that there wasn't just words everywhere. So I'm going to add in a few more hexagons because I felt like everything was sort of just conditioned right to the edge, or right to the center, and there was nothing going off the edge on this side, and it was kind of bugging me because there were things going off the edge on the left hand side. So I wanted to add a few things going off the edge on the right hand side. So I'm going to add that there. And that really made everything sort of come together for me, but I'm still feeling like I need a couple more hexagon pieces. I decided to add this yellow one, weirdly enough, which I had trimmed off because I thought that the yellow would work the best. So I'm going to have to piece this back together, which is fine, but it was cracking me up. I always cut things before I should. And I really feel like that gave everything a lot more balance and made it look a little bit more put together with those extra hexagons. So yay! Now I need to add in my journaling card, and I'm going to add a little tab to it. The journaling is on the other side of that. So I need to have a front and a back tab. Trying to find another hexagon to work. Then I'm going to add in my title on here, which says Good Sport. Fix all of my arrows and everything, and then add in some of these really cool flat enamel dots. They're not flat as in shape, but they're like not shiny. Oh, I love them. I hope we get lots and lots more of these in the future if anyone's listening. But that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Tracy M. Reed. If you're interested in subscribing to Coco Daisy, there is a link in the description box below. All right, thank you.